You gonna stop drinking or?
No.
Okay.
Not right now.
There.
Mid-season.
Mid-season?
Yeah.
Just mid-drinking season?
Yeah, mid-drinking season.
When does the season end?
Mid-30s.
Oh, holy shit, that's a long time.
I can't hit my protein!
In no way. I am not bipolar. I'm not in some kind of episode, but I may be slightly autistic, like Rain Man.
Yes, the rumors are true. I will be drinking an enormous amount of alcohol tonight, just like I did last night.
Gooning is a psyop meant to weaken your energy and steal your sleep. Know that every time you goon, you ritualistically give yourself the Baphomet and invite negative energy into your field.
These stories get lost, and it's always about 9/11, and it's always about, all these more recent stories. But I think this one is equally as important. And I think really, if even for some people, I think it's almost easier to have a conversation about OKC with 9/11. Because it's so obvious.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Tomorrow I'm doing 9/11.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no woman listening to this. Welcome back to Going Postal. Welcome back to the underground bunker. Welcome back to our secure position. Today, this transmission, it's probably one of our most important yet. I think Dylan would agree here. We are breaking ground. I mean, people, fall's coming. Halloween and fucking scary shit. And today, that's what we're talking about. It's scary shit.
We're talking about the worst shit ever. We're talking about bombing a daycare, straight up. We're talking about Timothy McVeigh bombing a daycare and the story behind it that the government doesn't want you to know about. That the government has tried covering up for suicide after suicide. They've spent so much manpower destroying lives, destroying families, covering this shit up. And they did such a sloppy job covering it up. There's still a wealth of knowledge on the topic that's just, it's not even secret at this point anymore. This is as bad as 9/11. This is just as blatant as 9/11. It's so blatant, and it is the worst domestic terrorism event ever in United States history.
It's Oklahoma City bombing. Blah. I mean, what Dylan said, sure. That was fucking fancy words for it, but
I'm a smart guy.
Yeah, dude. Big reader here. But in all seriousness, April 19th, fucking, well, it was the
95.
95.
Yeah, some fucked up shit went down straight up. It's also 2 years after the last Waco day where they fucking burned that shit down. It's what happens after these events, after all these conspiracies that we talk about. They just, after the event happens, they just bulldoze it down, knock it down, and just pretend like it never existed.
Or even blow it up.
Destroy it. Destroy fucking so much of the building with a fertilizer bomb.
Fertilizer bomb.
Really?
Outside. In a truck outside.
Yeah, that was the only thing there that happened that day for sure.
The building looked like people after Thanos snapped. And, it was a fertilizer bomb outside, huh?
168 people died and so many more were injured. I don't know the exact amount that were injured, but 168 people died. 3 people unborn. So if you want to count those as well. I believe that life happens after your conception, kind of. So, yeah, I guess we should count those as well. So 171 total. It is the worst domestic terrorist event ever in United States history.
Dude,
according to the official narrative, anyway.
What about 9/11 now?
Well, domestic terrorism, as far as someone from the United States committing the terrorism, as far as them committing the killings.
But
I'm talking about it according to the mainstream narrative.
Okay. I'm not joking here, people. We got terrorist ties, we got CIA ties, we got all the fucking 3-letter agency ties. Why'd they cover this up? That's my question. I just sifting through this. I'm assuming it's to get rid of the Waco files. Do you get a motive here? Do you have a motive in your head?
The motive I have is just the same. I mean, there is a lot as far as, I guess, Waco was supposedly at this place. The ATF is where this place was, so they have a lot of files there. They also have this is where all the shit that the anthrax vaccine that they gave to all the soldiers, this shows where all the fucking health defects are from that shit. And as well as Mena, Arkansas, all the fucking files on Clinton. This is where all the Mena, Arkansas files are. This is where all the fucking drug running shit is. This is why there's such a limited paper trail of that throughout history, is because they fucking blew it up with the Oklahoma City bombing. I didn't realize how important the Oklahoma City bombing was, and I didn't realize it was two years after Waco.
Dude, I knew it was important because of Waco. I knew it had ties into like a bunch of other conspiracies, but I did not know that the fucking Clintons are in on this. What a surprise, boys! The fucking Clintons are in on this.
And the Murrah building? Murrah building, it housed the fucking DEA, it housed the Secret Service, the VA, the fucking HEF, and this is where they also had a fucking daycare. They fucking bombed children just to prove their point, just to get a point across to the masses. It's so fucked up what they did. They do not care about human life. The people that are behind this has CIA all over. This has Timothy McVeigh working with the CIA almost for sure.
I mean, just the fact that local police and the press were both going along with a story that had multiple perpetrators in it, multiple explosives, not just a single fertilizer bomb, not just one dude fucking doing it. The press and the police were both running with the multiple people story, multiple eyewitnesses that went to the FBI, went to the police about multiple perpetrators, but still, whenever the feds got their fucking nose in it, everything went topsy-turvy, and nobody knew anything anymore.
They have dudes right after it happened showing up in blue coats that are unmarked. They have unmarked blue coats on, the people that are blocking people off from seeing the other bombs that were actually in the building that hadn't detonated. It's some crazy shit that happened after it went down. And then there's this cop, Terrence Yeeke.
Yeah, his last name is whack as fuck.
Terrence Yeeke, he was a first responder. He was one of the first people to show up. He showed up and helped save lives, and he didn't even tell his own wife like what he saw, because he realized as soon as he saw it, whenever he saw other explosives in the building, he just told his wife, what they're saying is not true. He didn't go into the full details because he knew what information he had, and then he was gathering tape and gathering evidence to show what he saw, and he was killed so fucked up. He was killed
brutally murdered.
Unbelievably fucked up. They slit both of his wrists as deep as you can possibly slit your wrist. They slit his jugular and his fucking neck.
Both of them on both sides.
And then fucking dragged him in a field, and then shot him in the back of the head. And then with all this information, classic Clinton suicide. This is classic Clinton suicide. In the books, it's chalked up as a suicide, but we all know that he's actually suicided. It's a real term. This is suicided, people. This is not suicide. This is suicided. The Clintons or whoever the fuck's behind it suicided this man to get him to shut up, to get him to not spread the narrative across. Anyone who had the narrative going against this shit was fucking suicided.
I mean, Clintons and suicided, that shit's like PB&J, meat and potatoes. They just go together perfectly. Somehow, some way, everybody that knows anything about the Clintons, involved with the Clintons, somehow has a terrible fate. A terrible fate befalls them somehow.
And if you're a bodyguard for fucking the Clintons, you end up all three going up a ladder in Three Stooges style and then going into the Waco building and just getting your head blown off, because that's how shit works. Just all three of them just happen to be fucking Clinton bodyguards. Just walk up fucking on tape being like, yep, these guys got killed right here, my bodyguards.
Just the fact that everything the Clinton touches just turns to fucking grease blows my mind. It shouldn't blow my mind, but it does.
They don't treat what happened as a crime scene. Because it's terrorism, they treat it as something else. They treat it as a different event, and that's why they can just bulldoze the school after. They treat it as a school shooting and not a crime scene. They just fucking bulldoze it and don't actually investigate what happened. The jury debated for fucking what? 3 days to fucking convict Timothy McVeigh? How long was it?
Yeah, I have no idea, but flat out, the OKC bombing is probably one of the most... Calling it a conspiracy theory is laughable. They have news footage. They have news footage that there's other explosives in the building, there's multiple perpetrators, and then as soon as the feds get in there, they're telling you, no, you didn't see that. They brutally murder anybody that says otherwise. It's fucking ridiculous.
They just write a narrative, and then that's history for the rest of the time. And then that's what the full population believes. Until people actually look into it, they just believe the narrative that was just written. It's literally just a script. It wasn't actually what happened. There really was FBI documents, 24 witnesses that saw John Doe number 2 get out of the van with Timothy McVeigh. There was 24 fucking witnesses that saw this guy get out of the van, and then still somehow no one... That didn't actually happen. They were all just making that up. They all just had mistaken identity. It was another van, fucking Ryder van, just chocked full of fucking gasoline or whatever. Diesel and fucking fertilizer. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, blew up a whole fucking building. Turned half of it to fucking rubble. The other pieces were barely fucking hanging on. Ridiculous. It all looks like it exploded from the inside. From the very beginning, they said there were multiple explosives, but then they fucking come up with this fertilizer bomb shit. Timothy McVeigh, all this fucking horse shit. Timothy McVeigh takes the fucking fall. It was 100%, do you think Timothy McVeigh had a hand in it? I really think he was a full patsy.
He might not even have been there. There's just some video of fucking him. You can't tell it's him getting out of the van at all.
It's like not 10 days before, they were already getting bomb threats at the building. Like they knew that terrorists had been threatening courthouses and the Murrah building in particular throughout the United States, and they still just disregarded. They had all these police on scene, extra fucking officers, extra bomb spotters, canine units out there, but they say they didn't know it was going to happen. Why'd they have the whole fucking crew out there if they didn't know it was going to happen?
Why I think he could have been involved, he could be like a Manchurian candidate scenario, is this guy, Dr. Jolly West, who's supposedly the psychiatrist for fucking him, Charles Manson. He was the psychiatrist for the Waco guy. What the fuck's his name? I can't think of the Waco guy's name for some reason.
Who, like David?
Yeah, David fucking Koresh. He was also the David Koresh's psychiatrist. And this guy is like an MK Ultra. He's a crazy fucking... As far as like getting people to do crazy shit, this is like one of the top guys in the MK Ultra program.
This guy is basically Dr. Frankenstein. I mean, it's crazy. People.
It sounds made up, but this is straight up like this guy is heavily involved in MK Ultra, and MK Ultra is a real thing, and that's just something that they have to admit at this point because it's just so obvious that MK Ultra is a real thing. The documents are out there.
Yeah, I mean, they can just put all this shit right in front of your eyes and still people say, oh, nah, dude, it happened the way they said. This has to be the most blatant conspiracy theory, the most blatant planned bombing of all time. I don't know if the government planned it to happen or just knew it was going to happen, let it occur. I mean, I'm leaning towards planned.
Just surface level, looking at it as a bomb exploding from inside the fucking building. It for sure looks like a bomb, not multiple bombs exploded from inside this building. A gas bomb is not doing this shit. This little fertilizer bomb that he had in his van, I don't care how much fertilizer he's fitting in this van. He's not doing this much damage. It looks like an asteroid fucking wiped out this building. It looks like devastation. They destroyed 171 lives. And not just 171 lives, that's just how many they ended. They destroyed fucking tens of thousands with this. All the families involved, all the injuries. There's 680 injured as well. I just remembered that. 680 injured and 171 deaths. It's devastation. It's brutal.
And just a little fun fact, of course they moved all the fucking ATF agents out of the fucking offices before. They couldn't move the kids. They couldn't come up with some excuse to get the fucking kids and the moms outside. No, we have to blow them up, but the ATF agents, they can fucking go.
The ATF agents can all fucking call in sick that day. It was reported that 18 people called in sick or just said that they couldn't go into work that day for whatever reason, and only 2 of them were there. Only 2 actual ATF agents were there because they had to testify in court that they were there. And one of them testified in court that he used his karate skills to get out of debris, to break through debris. He used his karate skills to break through the drywall that had landed on him, the tens of thousands of pounds of shit that landed on him. And then the other one said he fell down 5 stories. He was in the elevator and fell down 5 stories.
Even though none of the fucking elevators had, like, any free fall occurrences, all the shit inside the building, it's all goofy. It's all fucked.
The elevator mechanic had to testify in court that the elevator shit that ATF agent was saying was complete bullshit. He had to testify in court because it got locked in between 2 floors. It got locked to where he couldn't even escape if he wanted to. The doors were still shut. There was no way for him to escape. And he still said that he stole valor basically afterwards and said he was there and saved 3 people's lives after falling down 5 stories in the elevator. Just complete bullshit, and he lied under oath, hand on the Bible.
That man doesn't give a fuck about an oath. He doesn't give a fuck about any creed, dude. Fuck these motherfuckers. I mean, I'm like a fucking broken record here, dude. I don't even know what to say about the OKC bombing, because if you even do a fucking scratch of research here, scratching the surface of the surface here, you'll see how fucking greasy it is. It's ridiculous.
It's just so sloppy. This was like the sloppy just fucking throw it together job before 9/11, before the big event, before they just wanted a trial run. And this is 2 years to the day after Waco. This is after Ruby Ridge, 3 years after Ruby Ridge. This is all whenever Clinton's doing all that fucking cocaine shit in Mena, Arkansas. This is fucking... The CIA is running so much drugs during this time, and they are cocky as fuck. They are just running shit. They don't understand how technology is going to advance rapidly. They don't understand the wealth of information that's going to be transferred between the masses, and they don't understand how many people can wake up at once and find out what they actually did. They just believe that they can still write the narrative over and over again as they have in the past, and they just continue to think that we will believe the narrative whenever more and more people are waking up and more people are finding out the truth.
Well said, Dylan. That was one of your best fucking monologues. I like that. People, I mean, what the fuck is going on here? How could they get away with this is my question. Just the fact that more people didn't speak up about this blows my mind. Why is it me and you fucking... why are me and you out here? Why is it just such a slim majority or minority of people that just get it, and some people just don't?
Just imagine Joe Rogan type figures. Just imagine these celebrities who have just come across this information at some point and just have had to disregard it completely and just have had to say, no, I'm just not gonna talk about that ever, just to stay relevant in my shit, just to stay relevant on YouTube. I'm never going to bring that up ever. I don't care about the deaths of all these children and fucking all these people that have died that day by the CIA. I'm just going to never talk about that.
I mean, Joe's never going to have Icon. He's never going to have fucking anybody that has a actual fucking crazy crazy thought, crazy opinion, flat out. People say Joe Rogan's the fucking king of conspiracies. They're fucking the retards. The people on Reddit are retarded. He has, who is that fucker? Mike Baker, that fucking cocksucker.
Yeah, you're never former CIA. If you're in the CIA, you're in that shit for life. He's not gonna expose CIA secrets on the fucking Joe Rogan Experience. Are you fucking retarded?
I just feel like I've already said this before, but I'm gonna say it again from a previous episode. He is a mind virus in human form. Just click on the Mike Baker video and go to the fucking comments on YouTube. Flat out. Do not listen to that motherfucker.
It's clear that the CIA had involvement with fucking Timothy McVeigh beforehand. He, in 1991, whenever he's trying to apply for the Special Forces, he gets pulled aside by a social security number with 9 other people and says he's scored higher on certain tests than others. So these 9 people, he's selected for a specific job, and he only tells his sister about it. Out of all the people he knows, he only tells his sister about it through, like, confirmed notes that you can see are written by him. These are factual pieces of paper that you can look up yourself. He tells about how he was trying to get in the Special Forces, but then he was dishonorably discharged or whatever. He was discharged, but then he actually stayed in the Army and stayed in as what he thought was undercover, like, intelligence type shit. He thought he was in the CIA, but really he's just doing this type of work. Like, he might have thought he had fucking dummy bombs in the van. You don't know.
I honestly do not know what the fuck Timothy McVeigh was thinking the whole way through. Even, like, during his trial and shit, none of this shit makes any fucking sense. He does, like, seem like a huge Manchurian candidate. He is such a weird motherfucker. It doesn't make sense, his actions, what the fuck he said happened that day compared to what everybody else says that happened that day. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, the Jolly West shit, the psychiatrist shit, that has to be what fucked him up so much. That has to explain some things in this. It doesn't explain all of it. But this guy's wiping Charles Manson's mind. This guy's wiping David Koреш's mind. He's not even a psychiatrist. He's like a mind controlled type shit. He's MK Ultra involved MK Ultra psychiatrist.
I mean, de-patterning people. These are on actual files, people. We already made the MK Ultra video, but it's hard to fathom how fucked that is. And the fact that it all connects to this through fucking Jolly West, that cocksucker, through fucking Waco, Ruby Ridge, this shit, the ATF, Bill Clinton. Bill Gates might as well be in this, that fucking cocksucker.
But the FBI was looking for Guthrie. They were thinking that this guy Guthrie could be John Doe number 2, and this guy, Kenneth Trinidu, matched the description of this Guthrie guy exactly. They didn't go after John Doe and said he didn't exist, but during the biggest manhunt in fucking United States history, they were looking for him, and Kenneth Trinidu matches the description exactly. He has the same car, same tattoo even. It's fucking crazy how much the description match, but it's a completely different person. They think it's this Guthrie guy, and they interrogate him and beat the fuck out of him. And they beat the fuck out of him so bad in police custody in 1995, they pick him up at the Mexican border and interrogate him. They literally kill him. They beat him up so bad, and then try to say that he fucking hung himself. They try to say that he hung himself even though he has bruises all over him. He's just been brutalized. He has 3 severe head wounds. Not bullet holes, but just hit with a fucking metal pipe type shit. Just 3 severe head wounds. And Jesse, his brother, sees this. Jesse Trinidu. And he's argued ever since his death to this day, that his death was an interrogation by the FBI. It was not suicide. The FBI was looking for this guy, and he matched the description perfectly. Same tattoo and everything. It was fucking crazy.
So let's recap. The 2 biggest thorns in the side of the feds case. The copper that was fucking making his own case with a weird last name. What was it? Yankee?
Yeeky.
Yeeky and this fucking guy.
The Yeeky shit we didn't go over enough. The Yeeky shit, there's way more too.
Yeeky just flat out, he was a king, he was going to be a hero, and they fucking murdered him. They said that he killed himself whenever the story of him killing himself was he drives out to the middle of fucking nowhere. He slits both of his wrists. That's not good enough. He fucking drags himself. It was like nearly a half or quarter mile.
It was a half mile.
Yeah, yes. To die underneath a tree, apparently, and he wasn't dead even after cutting both of his fucking wrists down to the bone. He wasn't dead after that. Then he somehow, with his fucking hands, picks up his gun and shoots himself in the head. Not just like from below or anything, something like you're in the most desperate state of your life. No, he fucking raises above his head, perfect shot through the top of his skull, through the bottom of his cheek. No powder burns whatsoever. How the fuck do you take your own life and not get a single powder burn on yourself if you're that close to your gun?
And he was like a mega Chad, like he cared about his community. He was a cop. He was a first responder. He was one of the first people to show up at the building. And this guy wanted to be in the Army as well, wanted to be in Special Forces. Like, he cared about his country. And before he fucking died, the night he died, he told his friend that he had to dodge these feds that were chasing him, and then he'd hang out with them for dinner. Like, he had dinner plans and never showed up, and he nonchalantly said that he had to dodge these feds that were chasing him.
The man's a beast. I mean, we can't say more about him. I mean, rest in peace, King. But anyway, fucking Yankee gets brutally murdered, and this guy gets his fucking head bashed in, also brutally murdered. I wonder if there's a fucking cover-up going on here, Dylan. I mean, is there a cover-up going on here?
There's always cover-ups. Anybody who fucking knows too much, they just fucking suicide him like it's nothing. They suicide him like it's not a human life. They just continue to push a narrative along, and anyone who doesn't go along with it, well, that's too fucking bad, and you don't get to be on this earth anymore.
I mean, you have the gall. You have the gall to say what actually happened on that day, you fucking idiot.
I don't know what more to say is. I guess I got another topic that I want to talk about. What more could we say other than save the children? Their lives matter. We need to talk about what actually happened. There's still a criminal case here that's never been prosecuted. There's still people involved with Timothy McVeigh that there's no statute of limitations on murder. This is the murder of so many people. There's no statute of limitations on it. But they seem to think that the case is closed. Whenever we didn't treat it like a crime scene. We just treated it like a terrorist event, and then you fucking bulldoze it and just pretend like it didn't happen.
I think we need to investigate the investigators.
Facts. Shout out War Mode.
All right, what's this other fucking topic you got?
We haven't talked about NASA ever, and it seems like just the...
Oh, God.
It's what ties it all together. This is the biggest money laundering scheme in fucking ever. This is the biggest money laundering scheme in the world. They don't spend any of their money to actually go to space. They haven't gone to space ever, in my opinion. I think they've gone to space. I don't think they've gone to the moon. I don't think they've ever gone to the moon once. It's a complete waste of tax dollars, and it's an easy way to launder all this fucking money throughout time. Throughout the past 100 years, they've used NASA, or however fucking long. How long do you think NASA's been around? When were they created?
I mean, I would imagine shortly after the Second World War.
So almost 100 years, probably 80 years. And for this amount of time, they've just been able to launder money and just spend so much money and just hide it all. Hide it through government salaries, through just false narratives, the same as throughout history. They've just created false narratives, false realities where we have gone to the moon just to beat Russia and say that we did it first, whenever we really can't, and we were just the first liars.
Flat out, I don't think there can be any living thing lasting in space. The Van Allen radiation belt shreds fucking everything. I'm not so sure about the people that say that fucking space is fake. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I've not been to space. It might be the firmament. Who knows?
I should also say that I don't know a lot, and I can't... Everything I say is fact. I'm not really saying it as fact. I'm just saying it as an alternate reality to what you've been told, just to make you think, just to make you question the narrative. And
this is a funny podcast.
It's a comedy podcast, folks.
We don't mean any of those.
This is all jokes. Smoking Jays.
Whatever. But flat out, I'm not sure about all the space shit. I love space. I think it's super cool. I hope it's real. I hope space is real. I'm not sure that we'll ever be able to escape the fucking radiation. I mean, we made the radiation belt stronger by fucking... Did you know that? We made the Van Allen radiation belt stronger for a time because we were doing nuclear experiments in space.
No.
Yeah, in Earth's atmosphere, we were doing nuclear experiments, and fucking they made the radiation belt stronger by like a significant margin. Is what they were saying. So I don't think that any living thing has left. I mean, they say that they fucking flew animals through space during the Cold War. I don't believe a lot of the shit that happened during the Cold War because it was the peak time of propaganda and nobody would question it at all. Flat out, I mean, you would have to be a ballsy motherfucker to be questioning the propaganda back then. You'd be a commie.
I've tried to see that the Earth is flat, or like in space or in flights, and I cannot see that it's round at all. It literally looks flat as fuck to me whenever I'm in the plane. It looks like the window like distorts it a little bit, but it looks flat as fuck to me. And I've seen people ask pilots what they think, and they're just like, it's flat as a fucking pancake.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know shit.
Yeah. I haven't been to the ice wall. I haven't seen Hyperborea, but the Earth might be flat, and there might be an inner Earth. Who knows? All me and Dylan we're asking questions. We're asking questions about the Oklahoma City bombing, and now we're asking questions about, is space real? Is Agartha real? I mean, is the flat Earth real?
The space program's obviously fake as fuck. We can all see that. You can see, they try to show you in a video that they can shoot at a meteor. They try to say that they can shoot down a meteor, and they have a camera on a fucking missile or on a probe just proving that they can shoot down a fucking a shooting star, basically. They're trying to say that they can shoot a shooting star. And with this fucking fake-ass TikTok video, they fully expect the public to believe this, and it looks so fucking fake, just so blatantly fake. If you ever see a shooting star and see how fast it's moving so fucking fast. There's no way we're catching that shit. I don't know what the fuck a shooting star is, but there's no way we're fucking catching that shit. There's no way we're shooting that shit down. There's no way they have a video of us shooting that, and they've tried to pass that shit off as fake, or as real. NASA.
I haven't seen the shooting star fucking shooting video. That sounds badass, but a shooting star is just a meteor going through Earth's atmosphere and like burning up and making a light. So I don't know why the fuck NASA would be shooting the meteors down. That seems pretty retarded, but they might be doing it. The government does a ton of retarded things.
In the video, they just also cut to like the fucking people in the space booth, like the fucking they're all cheering whenever they fucking get touchdown on the meteor.
I think I actually might have seen this video because I just saw like that fucking all those guys cheering in a meme or something. I don't fucking
There's
know.
one jiggly boob blonde in the fucking in the front of it. There's like one fucking definitely not a scientist blonde in the front of it, and then a bunch of nerd looking people behind
Who
her.
the fuck put you in here? They always hire the shittiest actors for some reason.
They got her front and center in it. Space is fucking questionable. The amount of money that they spend on it is just, they're blatantly just laundering money year after year through the space program, not actually benefiting the people. Imagine how much all that money could have gone towards actually benefiting the people on this flat Earth instead of trying to get off it.
No. Elon Musk has $300 billion, but you don't have a fucking house that you own, you fucking cocksucker.
You're never going to own a house. They've just continuously made it harder and harder for you to buy a house. And if rates go up, they're just going to make it basically impossible. And they can just keep rates higher and keep raising the price of houses because only the rich can afford them. And they're going to continuously fuck you through giant corporations that are buying up single-family homes. They're buying up single-family homes all across the United States in every fucking city. And that is all that is raising the prices and keeping the prices afloat, is massive corporations buying up the property because they know you need a place to live. And if they have a monopoly on the homes, they're going to keep you out of a home, and they're going to make you want to beg and fucking scratch and get every single dollar you can get together just to sign your life away through a mortgage.
You'll own nothing and be happy.
They sell you debt as it's fucking a good thing. They try to always pass off debt in every advertisement that it's a good thing. It's going to trap you. In fucking Fight Club, he says the things that you own end up owning you, and the fucking all the debt that you're accumulating, it's going to fuck you, and it's just continuously taking dollar after dollar out of your paycheck. And if you're in debt, you need to try as hard as you can to get out of it, because then you're at fucking baseline. Then you can rebuild from there. But if you're in debt right now, you really need to get out of it because it's fucking you hard in the ass. It's bending you over, and this is what I'm talking about. Where like,
go off, Dave Ramsey.
You need to fix like what's actually in front of you. You need to fix the people that you can actually reach out and touch. You need to fix the problems you can actually reach out and touch, because it's all nice to talk about fucking the OKC bombing, but if you don't have your life in order, if you don't have your money under control, that's what you should fucking focus on before you focus on worrying about the OKC bombing. Like, fucking focus on what you got in front of you.
I mean, it's a statement as old as time. Get your money up, not your funny up. I think that's what we'll leave you guys off on.
Yeah, I don't got much more to say.
Nah, I mean, fucking the OKC bombing is like the most blatant shit in the world. Get your money up, not your funny up. Space might be fake.
It's just so obvious that it's going outward. The explosion's going outward out of this building, and there's just a hole where this building once was.
The explosion's going outwards, people.
It was not fertilizer in a van on the street. It's a fucking crater. It's nuclear, folks.
I mean, there were multiple explosives there, then there weren't. There were multiple perpetrators, then there weren't. It all makes sense. The people investigating it, they for sure weren't murdered brutally. I mean, just don't worry about it, guys. Just watch football. Enjoy football. Goodbye.
Sirhan was a fucking patient of Jolly West. I forgot to mention that. That's also crazy. R.I.P. the GOAT.
Jolly West.